Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa, and today we're talking all about meal prep, and I am going to share some tips for those of you who have just gotten started with meal prep or are interested in getting started with meal prep. So I'm calling these my meal prep tips for beginners. So I have 5 different tips for you guys today, and the first tip is to get organized. And this might seem kind of obvious, I guess you could say, but the reason that I make this tip number 1 is that sometimes we don't have a plan when we go into our week. And if you really want to be successful with meal prep, you need to make sure that you are organized ahead of time and that you know exactly what you're going to do. So the first thing that I suggest you do is look at your schedule. Look at what nights you might be away for the week or what nights you might be working late. You can check like your class schedule if you're in school, and this will just help you come up with a plan for your actual meals for the week, which is the second part of this, which is to think about exactly what you want to eat based on your schedule. So you come up with a meal plan that fits within your work, school schedule, whatever it is. And then once you have your entire plan set, you can figure out what components of your meals or which meals completely you are going to meal prep. From there, once you have your shopping list, your meal prep list, you can head to the grocery store. So this is kind of a 4-part step, I guess you could say. So you're gonna think about your schedule for the week, think about what kind of meals you wanna eat, think about what part of those meals or which of those meals can be meal prepped, and then you're gonna head to the grocery store. Tip number 2 is to shop once per week. And this can be challenging, especially if you're somebody like me. I really enjoy grocery shopping. I don't know why, but I just really like going to the grocery store. But if you want to stay consistent with what you're eating for the week, you want to stick to your healthy meal plan, and you want to save time, stress, money, all of those things, it's best to shop just once a week. And this is going to help you ensure that you're sticking with your meal plan, and you are not only going to save money because you're not like popping into the grocery store at a random time during the day and buying something that you don't really need, but you really are just going to focus on your meal prep. You know exactly what you're going to be eating for the week, and you don't stray outside of those lines, because that way you're going to just get into the habit of meal prepping. You kind of know what a week is going to feel like and look like cooking wise, and you're going to feel much more comfortable making this more of a habit for you long term. Tip number 3 is to get your supplies together. And I've talked a little bit about this in some of my videos before, but really there aren't any technical supplies that you need for meal prep. Really what I mean is that you want to make sure that you have containers, and that you have containers that can fill up enough of the meals that you need for the week. So I personally love to use both Tupperware and mason jar containers, and I'm also using these new things that I found online called stasher bags. They are silicone bags. They basically act like a Ziploc bag, but they are silicone, which is awesome. And what I love about using glass over plastic is that it is oven safe. Just make sure that you buy oven safe glass containers, but it's oven safe, so you can heat it up when you get to school or work or wherever you're going. And it's also non-toxic. So a lot of times plastic containers can be a little bit toxic, especially if you heat them up, seeps into your food, and nobody wants that. So I love using glass Tupperware. I'm gonna link some of my favorite ones in the description box below for you guys, but you've seen probably in some of my what I eat in a day videos or even my meal prep videos that I have some that are thin and stackable. So those I use for things like soups and stews. I also have ones that have a dividing container, so that helps me if I want to have like a small side salad and then something else on the side. I can divide it into 2 different components of my meal. And then of course I use mason jars for like pretty much everything. I use it for overnight oats, for mason jar salads, all that good stuff. So really, moral of this story is that you just want to make sure that you have at least some containers, so that you can actually take the food that you prep with you, and it makes it more portable, it makes it more accessible, and it makes it just easier for you to like manage your fridge and manage your meals, and it's gonna save you a ton of time. Tip number 4 is to start small. Instead of just jumping in head first, which I know a lot of us like to do, but that can be often really overwhelming. So if you're totally new to meal prep, start small. Start with just one meal per week. I personally find that breakfast is the easiest to meal prep, but go with whatever works with your schedule and works with your life. And that way you kind of get used to prepping. You know what it feels like. You kind of judge what time it takes you to make a certain amount of meals per week. And then you can kind of increase from there as you get more comfortable with the process. So if you are prepping breakfast, just prep things on Sunday. You can have your entire meals breakfast-wise throughout the whole week ready. And you can see not only how much it saves you time-wise, but you'll also see that you're eating really healthy every single day, which just makes you feel so awesome. The other benefit of taking it in small steps is that it makes this process a lot less stressful. It makes it a lot more fun. And when you are doing something that is less stressful and more fun, you're more likely to stick with it for the long term, and you're more likely to make this a lasting habit in your life. So tip number 5 is to get cooking. And I felt like it was really good to end with this tip because I know a lot of you still have questions about meal prep. You don't really know what types of meals are good for meal prep. And so I thought I would just kind of give you an overview of the things that I think are really great for meal prep, and hopefully this will give you some ideas if you're doing meal prep on your own. So the first thing that I just want to caveat is that plant-based foods in general are going to last you longer in the fridge. So that's a huge benefit of meal prepping on a plant-based diet. But what I like to encourage people when they're just getting started with meal prep is to first start thinking about cooking up your basics. So if you're new to meal prep, you can just think about the basics. So things like grains, legumes, so like beans. You can also prep out snacks. You can chop up veggies for salads. You could roast veggies and all that kind of thing. So when you have your basics together, you can start to build meals and it makes the cooking process a little bit easier. The other thing you can think about is freezer-friendly meals. A lot of freezer-friendly meals are also awesome for meal prep. So this is things like chilies, soups, stews, casseroles, curries, all those kind of things that can be stretched. You can kind of make them in big batches and you can store them in containers. They freeze really well. They also keep really well in the fridge. So all of those options are really great for meal prep. The other thing that I think is really great for meal prep is salads. I will just say with salads, you want to be careful about a few things. So when I'm prepping salads, I either like to make a mason jar salad, and we'll talk about that in a second, or I do my salads in my components. So what I mean by that is I have my greens, I chop my raw vegetables. If I'm making roasted vegetables for the salad, I'll make roasted vegetables and I'll make my dressings, and I'm going to store them all separately until the day that I'm ready to assemble my salad. So when I head out to work or I'm going wherever and I want to bring my salad with me, I can build my salad the day of with all of the things that I've prepped and keep my dressing in like a little container, and then from there I can have my salad when I get to work. The other option with salads is the mason jar salad, and I love mason jar salads. I've just hopped on this train and I think it is so awesome. I have a video coming for you on Tuesday that has a new mason jar salad in it. But what I love about mason jar salads is that the entire salad is in a jar, and the way that it's layered is how you ensure that your other ingredients don't get soggy. So with a mason jar salad, you start with your dressing on the bottom. Then I like to do my protein, which is usually a bean, because I find that like it marinates in the dressing and it tastes really yummy. Then I do my grain if I'm having a grain, so brown rice, wild rice, quinoa, whatever it is. Then I'll do my veggie components, so fresh veggies or roasted veggies. Then I'll do my toppings, so if I'm doing nuts or seeds or herbs or anything like that, and then I top it with the greens. And so what's great about that is that the greens are away from the dressing, so you're not gonna get soggy greens. Nobody wants a soggy salad, right? And then when you get to work, all you have to do is dump it out into a plate or a bowl and your entire salad is ready. So mason jar salads are amazing. I have a few recipes on my blog if you wanna check those out. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so that you can get the notification for the video that goes up on Tuesday that includes a new mason jar salad, and it's all about meal prep. If we're thinking about meal prepping breakfast, you guys know that I love breakfast and I talk about breakfast all the time, but some of my favorite things to meal prep for breakfast include smoothie packs. I've showed some of those in my What I Eat in a Day videos and also my meal prep videos. I love oatmeal packs. I love overnight oats and chia pudding. I also love baked goods, so you can make things like a pumpkin bread or some sort of quick bread. You could have toast ready for you in the morning, or you could make something like a muffin or my quinoa breakfast cookies. All of those are really great breakfast options. They keep really well for at least a week, and they make having a healthy breakfast, protein-packed breakfast, and all of those things that you need in the morning a breeze. And then the final thing with meal prep that I just want to mention that I like to do personally is what I call component meals. And I talked a little bit about this with the salads, but basically how I envision this is batch cooking different components of what I am craving for the week. And then that enables me to create different meals every single day based on what I cooked. So I'm not somebody that enjoys eating the same exact thing every single day. I just get kind of bored, and I feel like my body gets a little bit bored too. So component or batch cooking is awesome because you can have a salad for lunch, you could have a Buddha bowl for dinner, you can flip-flop them, you can have different types of vegetables on one day, different types of vegetables on the next day. And I also love doing different sauces. So things that I like to do are usually 2 types of grains, 2 types of beans, at least 3 to 4 different types of vegetables. I usually have 2 types of greens in my fridge, so I'll have arugula and spinach or something like that. And then I'll make a few different sauces using different spices so that really it does take on a whole new flavor, and it doesn't make me feel like I'm eating the same thing every single day. Even if technically I'm just like switching things up a little bit so that I have that variety and creativity, and it just helps making the whole week a lot more interesting and fun, and it makes meal prep a lot more fun for me too. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I mentioned, I have another meal prep video coming on Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video if you aren't subscribed already. And if you want even more meal prep tips, I have an entire playlist that includes all of the meal prep videos that I've done so far. I think we have 5 videos in that series already. So in those videos, I show you how to prep 5 days worth of food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we do talk a little bit about snacks too. And there's, again, 5 different episodes. So you could follow those if you want to have a healthy meal for the entire week. And the other thing is that I also have a new 7-day meal plan. So if you guys are interested in learning about how you can eat healthy for an entire week, plant-based meals, gluten-free meals, everything like that, I have a new ebook that you might want to check out. It's called Simply Nourish. And it is so yummy. It's packed with amazing recipes, and I'm really excited to share it. So I've linked that in the description box below for you as well. I don't really have anything else other than that. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other meal prep questions for me, definitely leave them in the comment box below. I'll try to answer them, and if there's enough new questions, perhaps we could do a second part of this video. And of course, if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to tap that red subscribe button. I will put a button on the next screen as well that you can hit if you want to do that. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!